today I'm going to start kind of by saying how you get there is where you'll arrive. So this place that we're going to the center of our being, to the center of the sun, to the direct wisdom place, to the pure wisdom, all of this is real. First, I want to say it's real. We're not speaking here in metaphor. Sometimes I have to use metaphors to describe things. I try not to. We are speaking here of esoteric subjects, but not things that are abstract. I want to be careful with that. I want to be as specific, as practical as we can be, so that I want to take the guesswork out of this. What did she mean? You know, I'm going to be very specific, and some of the things will seem maybe a little bit strange, and some will seem like, yeah, I really got to do that, didn't do that, should do that, and it probably would help. So some practical stuff, and this is the way to do it. So as much as I say we're not talking about techniques, I've said everything. I've said it's not a technique. Don't make this a meditation, and I strictly, strongly mean that, because a meditation is a very specific thing. It's very useful, very practical. It's important. I sometimes do them. Meditation, contemplation, all these different things. So this is not that, and I don't want it to be confused, because we get these real ideas about what a meditation should feel like, you know, whether we should be able to quiet our mind, how many thoughts are okay before we get distracted, before we need to go back to our breath or a candle or whatever methods we use for meditation. And then we have these ideas: I can't meditate, I don't meditate, I tried it. So I try and stay away from all these things that would color us, dictate to us, you know, what it already looks like, so that I want to stay fresh and original in this approach, and that speeds us along this direct way. So very innocent, very open, very fluid, without preconceived notions. And so I try to stay away from all that. But when I say how you get there is how you'll arrive, that means that we all have a way in which we go when it's more our most direct way, a way in which we center ourselves, a way in which we easily let go of things or notice when we're not. So in that way, there is a kind of a method to things, and it's got to be yours. And in some ways, that's why I tried to say leave lots of openings in this sphere, because they are all openings. They're all ways to get in, to get back. And we want to make sure that we don't isolate ourselves, and we want to not have this list of rules of how to do these things. And that's what I meant by leaving holes, openings, ways to get back in, ways, if we fall out, to climb back in, because it's a really interesting process here that we will be describing. If we don't do this, all the different kind of pitfalls, all the different ways that we can fall into the valleys beneath us, if we remain too occupied and distracted in life and ignore these opportunities that are coming and live that way for the rest of our life, what will happen? We will we'll continue our narrative, our stories that we tell ourselves and others about life. We will continue in this sequential, consequential kind of way that we live, with a little bit of drama and a little bit of activity and all of that. But we want to ask ourselves as well, what will I have accomplished if I only do that? What will this life have been about? And when we look at that, we will see that we really do want to go beyond that, to go beyond these gates and thresholds and live differently and live with pure wisdom, direct wisdom, access to that. And I want to say, as we've already kind of looked at all of these examples of not doing this, that most lives, most human lives are kind of, what do I want to say? You know, I'll say that the good and the harm that we do basically cancels each other out. In an average life, we don't really get anywhere. Like I said, what will we have accomplished? So in an average life, and the people that we see and how things are, good, bad, indifferent, whatever it is, it sort of all balances out. And when a life is complete, when we finish our life, our life stream, our biological time, the energy that we have created dissipates, ashes to ashes, whatever we want to say. And all that energy goes back into the biology of the earth. If it's really bad, some of these things go into the pain body of the earth and contribute to that. If it's really good, we go into the hopefulness and the consciousness that we give to Gaia, that we give to the earth. But a lot of it just cancels itself out and just goes into the average biology. The constituent elements all separate, dissolve, all the aggregates that have come together to make a human body and a human life, they break down and everything goes back to the way it was. If we want to be conscious, aware, and awake, and contribute wisdom to all of these spheres and places, then we work on ourselves and we contribute to the planet and we do all the things that we know that we are here to do. We are here to serve our time here in consciousness rather than unconsciousness. And in doing that, we become more fully ourselves. We embody our life. We occupy our life. And that's what we are here to do. And when we fully occupy our life, that is when we create benefit for the world around rather than challenge. We are creating benefit, and those benefits serve other than human, other than me, I. They go out into the world, and wisdom lives and wisdom rises. So what I have been saying is that by creating these conditions for ourselves and for others, wisdom rises on its own, and the sun rises within. And as this sun rises, wisdom, which is the sun, if you want to say the personality of the sun, is wisdom. It is radiance. It is wellness. It is all of it. And that radiates out from the sun, from us. And we embody that as a conductor, as a bipolar, and I mean that this way, north and south poles, conductor of energy.